The Vex Collective had terrorized the galaxy for nearly 3 centuries. Their massive fleet of biomechanical ships moved like a plague of locusts from system to system, consuming resources and leaving shattered civilizations in their wake. 17 species had been completely eradicated. 34 more had been subjugated, their populations dwindling under harsh resource quotas enforced by orbital bombardment. The Galactic Alliance, once a proud federation of 200 star-faring civilizations, had been reduced to a mere shadow of its former glory. Their combined fleets could only manage desperate holding actions, sacrificing outer systems to protect core worlds. Every military strategist agreed total defeat was merely a matter of time. Captain Thomas Reed stared at the tactical display aboard the UES Nemesis, humanity's first and only Omega-class dreadnought. Earth had only joined the Galactic Alliance 15 years ago, and in that time, humans had observed, learned, and quietly built. "System check complete, Captain," said Lieutenant Davis from the weapons station. "All systems nominal." Reed nodded. At 5 kilometers in length, the Nemesis was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. While other species had spent millennia gradually improving existing technologies, humans had taken a different approach. They'd studied every piece of alien technology they could access and reimagined it all from first principles. "Incoming transmission from Alliance Command," announced Communications Officer Lin. Admiral Krell of the Alliance appeared on screen, his amphibian features tight with worry. "Captain Reed, are you certain about this? Your vessel is impressive, but the Vex Armada numbers in the thousands. With respect, Admiral, we've run the simulations. Nemesis was built for this specific purpose." Reed's voice was calm, confident. "The Alliance has been fighting conventionally for too long. It's time for something different." "The coalition of outer worlds has already fallen," warned Krell. "The Vex will reach the Alliance core systems within days." "Then we better hurry," Reed replied. Nemesis out. The massive human warship accelerated toward the jump point, its experimental drive system leaving a brilliant blue wake. The journey to the Hadron Expanse, current location of the Vex Armada, would take 12 hours. Reed used that time to address his crew of 300. They were the best Earth had to offer. Scientists, engineers, tactical specialists, each chosen not just for their skills but for their ability to think creatively under pressure. Most species in the galaxy relied on overwhelming numbers in warfare. Humans had always been different, favoring innovation and adaptability. "The Vex have never encountered our technology," Reed concluded. "Their tactics are predictable because they've never needed to change them. Today, that changes." When Nemesis emerged from its jump, the sensors immediately detected the Vex fleet consuming an inhabited planet. Billions were dying as the invaders systematically stripped the world of resources. "Tactical assessment," Reed ordered. "At count 3,412 Vex vessels," reported Lieutenant Davis. "Their main fleet is concentrated around the planet. Scout ships are already moving to intercept us. Launch probes, all bands. Let them get a good look at us." The Nemesis deployed dozens of small, unarmed probes that raced toward the Vex fleet, broadcasting on all frequencies. It was an intentional provocation. The Vex responded exactly as expected. 50 ships broke formation to intercept the lone human vessel. "They're taking the bait," Reed said. Gravimetric distortion field online. The pursuing Vex vessels suddenly found themselves unable to maneuver properly as the human ship manipulated the very fabric of spacetime around them. It was technology based on theoretical physics that the Alliance had never successfully weaponized until humans got their hands on it. "Phase 1 complete," announced Reed. "Quantum disruptors. Target their command nodes." The Nemesis fired concentrated beams of particles that existed in quantum superposition. When they struck the Vex ships, they materialized at random points throughout their target's structure, bypassing shields entirely. 20 Vex ships simply fell apart, their molecular bonds severed at critical junctures. The remaining Vex vessels opened fire, but their weapons splashed harmlessly against the Nemesis's layered defenses. A combination of conventional shields and experimental phase-shifting technology had temporarily shifted portions of the hull into another dimension. "They're adapting," warned Davis. "Incoming vessels are modifying their approach." Reed smiled, Right on schedule. Deploy the RFMs. The Nemesis released thousands of reality fracture mines, tiny devices that created microscopic, temporary rifts in spacetime. When Vex ships passed through these invisible fields, their hulls experienced time at different rates, causing catastrophic structural failures. The main Vex fleet abandoned the planet and converged on the Nemesis, exactly as planned. Initiate Protocol Omega, ordered Reed. The massive human vessel plunged directly into the heart of the Vex Armada, its central weapon, a singularity cannon that compressed dark energy into an unstable quantum state, fired repeatedly. Each shot created a miniature, short-lived black hole that consumed everything within its event horizon before collapsing in on itself. Hundreds of Vex ships vanished in seconds. For the first time in centuries, the Vex Collective experienced something unfamiliar: panic. Their hive consciousness had never encountered a threat it couldn't overwhelm. Their ships began firing wildly, many hitting their own vessels in the confusion. "They're breaking formation," reported Davis, attempting to retreat. "Not this time," said Reed. "Activate the quantum entanglement field." The Nemesis projected an invisible field that momentarily connected all matter within its radius at the quantum level. When the field collapsed, the resulting cascade of energy tore through the Vex fleet like a ripple through tissue paper. In 6 hours, it was over. The Vex Armada, terror of the galaxy for centuries, had been reduced to scattered debris. The Nemesis hung in space, its energy reserves depleted but its structure intact. As Alliance reinforcements arrived to secure the system, Admiral Krell contacted the human vessel again. His expression was one of pure astonishment. "Captain Reed, this is unprecedented. You've accomplished in hours what we couldn't do in centuries." Reed shook his head. "We simply approached the problem differently, Admiral. Humanity doesn't have the numbers or resources that other species do. We've always had to rely on innovation instead. The Alliance owes humanity a debt we can never repay. We're just getting started," Reed replied, looking at the stars beyond. "There's a lot more galaxy out there." The Nemesis turned toward its next destination, a single warship that had forever changed the course of galactic history.